right, awesome, Scott. Thank you for sharing that first section. Uh, let's just dive a little deeper here. Let's go to the past of where we started with Network in Action, and then, tell me about the future. Where are we headed?
Yeah. So first of all, I want to thank everyone for hanging in there with us. I know that that was a bit of a long session, and this one will probably be about 20 or 25 minutes as well. But it's important to note the why, I think. And in my background, believe it or not, I was studying to be a Catholic priest in college, and I was no more going to be a Catholic priest in the Man in the Moon because I love the girls. But I always had a inclination to help people. That was always sort of something I wanted to do. And over my 35-year career of owning several businesses, in the back of my mind, I always wanted to like find something that I can make really good money because I love money and help others. And at the end of the day, that's all we do. I get to wake up every single day, and all I have to do is focus on who can I help, whether it's my members or my franchise owners or whoever comes uh, into play. Sometimes it's prospects that I just help them find another network, another franchise. Uh, but all I have to do every day is wake up and help people. And it's just the coolest chapter of my life. I say all the time, I wish I was 36 now instead of 66, but I'm having a blast. And I want to help find people like myself who just want to have fun. This is the most stress free occupation in the world because, Jesse, all people do is go out and meet people. That's all you have to do to be successful in this franchise. Two things. You got to go meet people, and then you have to be willing to lead them. So let's talk about 2014. I mentioned on the last call, my wife got a real estate license. Told her you got to go network. I wasn't crazy about the way network was being offered. She challenged me, and so we started Network in Action. And it's just been unbelievable. It's unbelievable since 2014. Today in 2023, we're at 140 franchises, uh, 81 franchise owners. So, a couple of things you want to think about when you're looking at a franchise. You want to look at a few things, and there's a couple of things franchisors never talk about that I want to talk about up front. But when you get involved with Network in Action, the day you tell me you're serious, we're going to let you talk to other franchise owners right away. And we want you to hear straight from them about the simplicity of this proposition. All you have to do is be willing to go and meet new people. And then you just have to be willing to lead those people. So if they join your group and they let you down and they're not attending or they're not participating, you got to be willing to cut the cord. But as long as you love people and you love helping people, we can help you make a very, very nice income, a residual income. I mean, I'm in Turkey today. I've been gone for 4 months. Yes, I'm working a little bit, but I'm got a incredibly high quality lifestyle with this business running Network in Action franchise. So let's talk about 2014. We started networking. The big deal was we wanted to create some great technology, and we've spent over $1 million. We have 4 patents pending. We're the only networking organization in the world that can say that. And we have the cream of the crop, not just great phone app for the members, but also a smartphone app for our franchise owners. So everything we do with the desire to help create people a more efficient life for people. So the franchise owners app that we started designing in 2017, 18 is to let people run their groups while they're mobile. And obviously the member app allows them to stay connected during the month that they're not meeting with their other members. So everything we do, we run it through a silo and we say, listen, we filter, does this help people and make their life more efficient? And it does. So let me go through a few little achievements. In 2020, during COVID, keep in mind that we doubled in size. So a lot of franchise will say they're, recession proof, but we can honestly say we're pandemic proof. 2 straight years during COVID, we doubled in terms of number of members as well as number of franchises. I want you to think about something. There's about 4,000 franchise brands out there. Okay. And there's about 16,000 franchises awarded every year. So I'm not very good in math. I went to Catholic school, Jesse, but I can figure out that means every franchisor gets on average 4 deals a year. 4 new franchises a year is considered sort of the industry standard. And yet we typically will add 2 to 4 a month. And that's what we did during COVID. We were positioned perfectly to continue to connect people. And coming out of COVID, we've seen that there's even a higher desire for people to stay connected to others to help them grow their business. So, one of the things we did during COVID was create what we call the Try Before You Buy program. A quick story. We had a franchise owner who had quadruplet teenagers. One of them had a medical condition. She had just bought her franchise. She had recruited 5 members to her organization. And she called me in a panic one evening. My husband's just been laid off. What am I going to do? But she had no income yet from her franchise. I said, give me a while to think about it. And by the grace of God, about an hour later, a commercial came across the TV as I'm walking through the house, and it was for Showtime. And I'll never forget it. It said, it was advertising some World War II epic serial to watch the series. And it said, you can experience Showtime for free. And a light went off. I called her immediately and I said, would you be willing to pilot a program to where we allow people to experience network connection? We're a technology company. So just like Spotify and Amazon and Google and so many others that you get to experience first, why don't we do that with network and action? So today, instead of having visitors visit our group, we allow them to participate with zero financial commitment. Now, they commit to a couple of other things, but one of the things they commit to is a 20-minute onboarding within 5 days of being put in the group. Well, during that onboarding, we're going to completely blow them away. We're going to record a video and professionally edit of them talking about why they love what they do. We're going to record an interview, 3 to 5 minutes of them talking about great customer service stories and what role they play in the market. We're going to professionally edit that. We're going to give them a Google My Business review, and we're going to give them software that they get to use to get more 4 and 5 star reviews. This is free to the member. And then you, as the franchise owner, get to step back, watch their behavior for a month or a month and a half, and then determine if you want them in your group. And if so, at that time, they've experienced a meeting, they've experienced your leadership. Most importantly, they've experienced the quality of the members in that group. So our Try Before You Buy came along in 2020. We've oversold in the last 12 months, excuse me, over $1 million. Over $1 million has gone to our franchise owners in revenue because they adopted the Try Before You Buy program. Today, 37% of our members come from that program that was inspired during COVID by a simple commercial from Showtime. So we always want to be at the leading edge. In 2022, we started to recognize that there were so many connections being made, Jesse. There were so many connections being made. There was so much business being passed amongst each other, even though we're only meeting once a month, that we didn't want this just to become a wine club. We didn't want people to get together and just have a cold beer and a glass of wine. And so we introduced business solutions. And business solutions is very much like having a silver American Express card or the best Capital One card you can get. We actually have a toll-free number where a member can call 10 hours during the day. And if they need something sourced, they can count on Network and Actions concierge to help them find it. They can also click on a host of businesses. So let's say you need a notary in another state, or you need a document translated, or you need a passport expedited, or you need 24/7 coaching. You need to know how to raise your prices. The business solutions part of Network in Action has become equally important, in my opinion, to the networking. So we provide business solutions. Now, the inspiration behind that was simple. I was sitting around one day and I started thinking about everything a business owner has to do nowadays. In the old days, for those of you that are old enough, you simply bought a yellow page ad, the biggest one you could afford, and you waited over the course of the next year for the phone to ring. And then next year you bought a couple of yellow page ads or you bought some in some outlying areas, but that's what you did year after year. Well, think about today. Today, most people still don't even know about a Google My Business page. They may not know the importance of recruiting 4 and 5 star reviews, which is very important. They got to deal with social media. They got to deal with LinkedIn campaigns. There's a whole host of things people have to try to figure out. Digital marketing. Do I still use print ads? Where do I put my marketing dollars? So, one of the things that I love about Network in Action that we go into more detail once we have a discovery call with you is that we're able through analytics to make a commitment to every single business owner in writing that we can guarantee them how much money they can expect from their participation in Network in Action. So imagine you're the franchise owner, you've met somebody at a chamber meeting, you want to talk to them about joining your Network in Action group, and you can actually tell them, I'm going to give you 100% guaranteed return on your investment. If we don't hit this number, you get your second year free. And Jesse, I'm proud to say that in the last 7 or 8 years, I think we've had 16 people total all across the country who've earned that second year free. So we know Network in Action is working. So we put in the guaranteed ROI in 2019. We put in the 2020 try before you buy as a response to COVID. In 2022, we added business solutions. And boy, in 2023, what happened? Artificial intelligence hit, AI. Not only did we take meeting time with our Network in Action members to educate them about AI, how to use it, how much time it could save them, but as part of our business solutions, we now are scanning and mining data all over the country and soon the world about who is likely to join your group and to be able to provide those leads to our franchise owners. So we're going to continue to set the pace. We're going to continue to be at the forefront of everything that comes along. It's just part of our DNA. But at the end of the day, this is a very simple process. We are a franchise that requires no inventory, no real estate, no employees, no investment in infrastructure, no investment in technology. We don't have a marketing budget that we charge you for. What we are is a simple, low cost franchise that I'm very proud to humbly say we've won every single award that Entrepreneur Magazine gives out 3 years running. Let me review those. Best low cost franchise, best work from home franchise, top 500 out of 4,000 plus, number one in our category, number one in our category, number one for networking. And in 7 short years, the second largest networking company in the country. So a lot of things are happening right. And the reasons they're happening right is because of our franchise owners. So at our core, what I'd ask you to think about yourself is, do I have it in me to talk to people? Do I have it in me to lead people? Do I enjoy helping others? And would I benefit from creating serious additional revenue stream in my life? So let's look at the profile of some of our franchise owners. Of the 80 plus franchise owners we have today, 32% of them were former B&I leadership. So they've left their volunteer occupation, and many of them are making six figures plus. You'll see that in our item 19, which we're required by federal law to disclose. Another third of our franchise owners are business coaches and consultants. And they do very well because if you think about it, they go from paying for networking to getting paid to run networking groups. They build a residual revenue stream, which for many of them is much easier to build than a competitive space like coaching. Now, you may be listening to this and you're saying, wow, I don't have a lot of experience with networking and I'm not a business coach. Could I qualify? Absolutely. If your heart's in the right place, you like helping people, and number two, most significant, you're willing to follow a model. We can show you how to do this. We train on Zoom online over the course of a week, and we have 13 weeks of support. We have an incredibly high success rate. If you're willing to follow a model and are willing to make an investment in your future, we can help you. So we're looking to talk to people. Now, let me say this. A lot of people think, well, I don't have the money set aside for a franchise, or I don't have 20 or 30, 40 hours a week. Only 15% of today's existing Network and Action franchise owners do this full time. Now, are they the ones making the most money? Typically, yes, not always. But if you have as little as 8 to 10 hours a week, we ought to talk. And that's what we love doing. We love talking to people who are interested in doing what they're often coaching others to do. That's to create an additional revenue stream. Keep in mind, if you own another business, you're going to represent that business in your group. There's a very high likelihood you're going to get hired, just like if you're paying for networking and you're passing referrals to others, you're going to grow that business. So the same is true for our franchise owners. There's one thing I want to close with. We're extremely proud of this. 32% of our franchise owners today have referred their friends to us, which is extremely high in the industry. Second, over 40% of our franchise owners have bought an additional franchise, which is off the charts. But here's the most mind-boggling statistic. According to the International Franchise Association, for every $100,000 you invest in a franchise, you should be able to expect to make about 15%. So think about that. You can go out and buy a $400,000 Subway, and you're going to make about 60 grand on that in a year. If everything goes right. God forbid we have another episode of COVID, or you have trouble hiring, or you get a bad location, or many other factors. The average person makes 15% on a franchise investment. Our average investment is anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000, and over 80% of those people are making over 80%. We have many, many people in our organization who invested $35,000 to run 3 networking groups once a month for 90 minutes with agendas that are given to them so they know what to do during that time. And they're making well over 6 figures. And again, this is documented in our item 19 that ultimately you'll have before you would make a decision to move forward. So a lot of great things going on. We're having a lot of fun. We just started our first franchise coming up here in a couple weeks in India, and we got our first commitment starting in Canada. We have franchises in South America and Ghana that are working very successfully. So if you're watching this out on the World Wide Web on our YouTube channel, we would love to talk to you as long as you love helping people and you can lead.
Wow. Wow. Well, I thought I was going to have to ask more questions, but I think you pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover today. So with ending, the next step is, how do they reach out to us and get more information on, moving forward?
Yeah, great question. Sort of important piece I left out. So first of all, we do have a franchise website, and that is www.franchise.networkandaction.com. So www.franchise.networkandaction.com. That's a great place to get more resources, more information. However, obviously, I'm in the people business. I just as soon talk to you, answer any questions. My commitment is I'll never put a sales pitch on you. I'll never try to move you forward. We'll never stalk you. We cannot recognize that this is an important business decision for you and your family. And all we're here to do is provide you the information. So my email is scott@networkinaction.com. That's SCOTT at networkinaction.com. And my phone number, which is clearly found out there, I'd love to talk with you. My cell phone is 713-417-6152. We'll answer your questions. We'll help you get comfortable with the decision to move forward or to make a pass on it. We'd love to talk to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to meet with our founder today. And, go ahead and take a look at the YouTube channel, networkinaction.com. You can get more information. And also don't forget to check out the franchise website like Scott mentioned. Also, I'm Jesse once again from Franchise Development. You can reach me directly at Jesse, Jesse, at networkinaction.com, or give me a call and we can chat as well, 407-280-6118. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Jesse.